Hey, fuckface, where you going?
Don't talk to me like this.
All right, I'm sorry. Hey, Vin, how you doing? What do you got for me?
Stop calling The Sopranos subtle. It's not subtle. You just weren't paying attention. There are two kinds of Sopranos viewers: those who watch it and those who study it. The first group sees mobsters and therapy sessions. The second sees cherry vanilla ice cream, a jar of pickles, and a baseball cap of shame, and immediately recognizes that every detail is doing narrative labor. In David Chase's world, nothing is arbitrary, not even cold cuts. Take the early execution of Philly Parisi. Gigi Sistone shoots him in the car, and the gunshot leaves Gigi clutching his ringing ear. That wince, barely a second long, is a declaration of the show's realism. Gunfire isn't cinematic thunder. It's deafening, awkward, and disturbingly human. Later, viewers would remember that physical recoil when Tony Soprano's moral recoil all but vanished. In The Sopranos, cause and effect rarely stay confined to one episode. Consider Tony's heartbreaking move-out scene, where he stuffs cold cuts and a jar of pickles into a duffel bag. It's tragicomic perfection, the domestic patriarch undone by his own cluelessness. For Tony, food is family. The refrigerator is practically kin. Packing it up feels like mourning a relative. He even dons that pitiful baseball cap, the universal headwear of men leaving home in disgrace. Divorce, apparently, comes with its own uniform. The show delights in mirroring itself, often with gallows humor. When Tony takes an IQ test off a cereal box while living with his mother, it's more than a throwaway gag. It's the perfect metaphor for his delusion of control. A man testing his intellect using a cartoon vampire's endorsement.
I'll see you up there.
Later, when he murmurs, "I'll see you up there," to Adriana, a line of chilling finality, the contrast is complete. He's evolved from self-parody to self-deception to self-ordained executioner.
Not that I know of.
Chris, listen. There's other fish in the sea.
Christopher Moltisanti's lie to Carmela about Adriana, not that I know of, lands with venom disguised as mercy. The brilliance lies in its dual meaning. She's dead, but he pretends otherwise. It's a lie told to protect a lie. The cruelty isn't in what he says, it's in what he withholds. The show's minor characters carry their own pocket universes of meaning.
I can't stand touching fucking shoelaces.
Polly Walnuts, for instance, is a masterclass in neurotic vanity. His tanning, manicures, and panic over wet shoelaces sketch a man less concerned with sin than with sanitation. The man who can strangle someone without blinking cannot, however, use a public bathroom in Rome. What looks like flamboyance is closer to obsessive-compulsive terror. His endless grooming rituals are his rosary beads.
After our meeting the other day, I had some ideas.
Elsewhere, Carmela's calculated morality shows itself in small, damning gestures. Mentioning AJ's grades immediately after sleeping with her son's teacher, for instance. It's the transactional logic of the mob applied to motherhood. Every sin must justify a profit.
I gotta go. I'm getting my new crown today. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Even Karen Bacalieri's death foreshadows the show's ruthless humor. Her final words, "I'm getting my new crown today," landing as divine mockery from beyond the grave. Then there's the academic irony of the witness reading Anarchy, State, and Utopia, before discovering he stumbled into a mob hit. Nothing punctures libertarian idealism faster than a bullet. The scene skewers intellectual pretension. Natural order meet the New Jersey waste management business. Even the piano music mocks them. A plunking, avant-garde disaster, fit for a man whose theories die faster than the gunshot victim. The show's visual and symbolic details demand obsessive attention.
Pussy?
He's wired for sound.
Vin Makazian warns Tony that pussy is a rat, framed by the very bridge where Vin later ends his life.
Ray Curto.
Ray Curto, quietly flipped by the FBI in Season 1, performs his informant's theater with tragic diligence for years. His exaggerated storytelling, the involuntary tick of a man forever explaining himself to ghosts and agents alike. He dies unexposed, the perfect metaphor for Chase's cynical cosmology. Loyalty and treachery often look identical, until the heart stops.
Stop at Nasto's, get you some cherry vanilla.
Food and religion, the show's twin sacraments, collide again in Down Neck. Johnny Boy Soprano's gift of cherry vanilla ice cream to young Tony echoes years later when Tony scoops the same flavor for AJ. It's the genetic transmission of corruption, sweetened for convenience. By the time Tony is serving it, the ritual is no longer innocent. It's hereditary doom in a bowl. Even the supernatural, when it intrudes, refuses to announce itself. Janice and Bobby's dinner scene, where Karen's untouched wineglass moves ever so slightly, is a ghost story told with a shrug. Was it intentional? A prop mistake? In The Sopranos, divine interference and production error coexist comfortably. Either way, it's Karen's revenge. Or a reminder that the dead never stay politely off screen. Music too performs moral commentary. Metallica blaring in the bada bing while Tony orders Richie April's death is almost comically on the nose, yet entirely earned. Rock gods? Mob gods. It's all theater of testosterone. Likewise,
You're like the old woman who's got a Virginia ham under her arm.
when Tony repeats others' idioms, woman with a Virginia ham under her arm, deaf toodaloo for me, and butchers them, it's linguistic shorthand for his entire psychology, the self-made man mangling wisdom he's unqualified to possess. Even in death, the show mocks sentimentality.
If anybody died,
At Livia's funeral, the woman in the wheelchair speaking warmly of her dear friend is the same woman Livia once hit with her car. There's the entire Soprano moral universe in miniature. Violence, denial, and polite applause.
20 years inside. Not a fucking peep.
Phil Leotardo's mysterious 20-year prison sentence, never stated outright, lingers like a ghost detail. Only through dialogue fragments and contextual hints can one reconstruct the math. The man's fury isn't theatrical. It's fossilized. He's been buried alive for decades and crawled out with vengeance as his only remaining hobby. The show even reserves humor for its own cinematic awareness. The unsteady hand seen clutching Richie's chair after Janice shoots him, a relic of production sloppiness turned metafictional artifact. In high-definition rewatches, it's impossible to miss. A reminder that The Sopranos aged into self-parody-proof art by accident. The fourth wall doesn't need breaking when it's already porous. Silvio Dante's quiet existence might be the show's most overlooked grace note. Always repairing something. Trophies, toilets, broken trinkets. He's the mob's compulsive restorer, attempting to fix what Tony destroys. His book, How to Clean Practically Anything, doubles as a confession manual for a man trying to sanitize the unsalvageable. Watching him react in the background, face frozen, eyes distant, is like seeing a minor deity endure eternity, one shrug at a time.
The fucking animal catches mice for us.
And then there's the cat, Paulie's absurd nemesis in the final season. His crusade to drown a harmless animal because it kills mice for us captures the show's black comedic heart. The mobster as superstitious peasant, broom in hand, caught mid-swing when Tony enters the room and instantly pretends to sweep. The cat survives. Dignity does not. Tiny cinematic choices enrich even throwaway moments. Tony's fever dream, where Philly Parisi's ghost bears only one bullet wound, because Tony never knew there were two.
Give me a piece of bread, huh?
Or the breadstick incident, when Tony, trying to silence Christopher's idiocy, orders him to pass the breadsticks. When Vito obediently complies, Tony's glare says it all. He wasn't asking for carbs. He was asking for peace. Rewatching the show with this awareness feels like finding new veins of gold in an already mined mountain.
I interest you to know that his father's now in a mental health facility in Nevada.
Meadows' offhand mention that Davy Scatino ended up institutionalized carries more tragedy in one indifferent line than most shows achieve in entire seasons. Hunter's cruel joke about Eric Scatino's drug use, or Meadows' casual mention of a suicidal dorm mate, exposed the Soprano children's moral inheritance. Empathy replaced by irony. Even the throwaway humor has texture. AJ awkwardly covering himself with his shirt after being caught making out.
My purse is stuck.
Meadow saying, "My purse is stuck," after crashing Jackie Jr.'s car. Jr. confusing Curb Your Enthusiasm for a home movie. These aren't just jokes, they're cultural fossils. They show how banal absurdity coexists with violence in Chase's America. In the end, the brilliance of The Sopranos lies not in its plot twists, but in its accumulation of invisible logic. The gunshots that deafen, the pickles that stand in for goodbyes, the ghosts that move wine glasses, all conspire to say what no dialogue ever needs to. Morality, like marinara, is best when simmered and left ambiguous. Every sandwich, every shrug, every misused proverb in The Sopranos serves the same purpose: to remind us that the devil, like the detail, is always in the room. Tony had gabagool. We have nuance. Subscribe.